Okay, so we've got paper 1 here. On the front page, it's going to tell us and give us our timings. Okay, so we've got 1 hour and 45 minutes to answer the paper. We've also got 40 marks, it tells us, available for section A, and which is the reading section, 40 marks for section B. We've got reading and our writing section. It says you're advised to spend around 15 minutes reading through the source and all 5 questions that you have to answer. Okay, so you've been given some preparation time. As soon as you get into the example, okay, and you're able to begin, already start to think about, okay, how you've prepared for this exam. So you've written your name, you've written your sentence number, candidate number, and you've got preparation time, okay, of 10 minutes. In that time, what are you going to do? You're going to read all of the questions. Okay? You're going to bracket the source. So bracket, where it says read lines 1 to 6, for example, for question number 1, or read lines 8 to 19, do that for each question and put the question next to the line. You then need to be thinking about, you've read the questions, and you already know, okay, that you're going to need to be highlighting and annotating for technique. What else do I need to think about at the start of the exam? I need to think about my timings. Okay, it's 1 hour and 45 minutes. When 1 hour is gone, okay, you need to make sure that you have moved on and given yourself enough time for question 5, the writing section. So if your exam begins at 9 AM, by 10 AM, you need to have moved to the writing section. If your exam begins at 1, by 2, okay, and so on. You need to have moved on to the writing section. So for question number 1, we've got 5 minutes. Okay, no more than 5 minutes available. For question number 2, no more than 12 minutes. Okay, that's our language question. Question 3, we're not going to spend any more than 12 minutes. Question 4, okay, approximately 20 minutes. And question 5, we're leaving ourselves again, okay, as I've told you, 45 minutes. It's a good idea to write that down when you get into the exam, okay, to remind yourself. So if the exam starts at 9 o'clock, by, I'd say, half an hour's gone, you really need to make sure that you've got those first 3 questions done. Okay, so going inside the paper there. Okay, our first 4 questions are going to be the reading section. Question number 1. Now, question number 1 gives us some specified lines. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to highlight. Our specified lines. We know that we're going to list 4 things. And in this case, it's about Alfred. And we know that we have only 4 marks here, so no more than 5 minutes that we're going to spend on doing this. It is designed to be the easier question. It's what we would call a retrieval question. We want to be able to select information from the text. It's a good idea to use the question in your answer. So, he is, Alfred, he is cold, for example, or it is, or they are. And also need to ensure that, make sure that each, I made a mistake there, didn't I? Each point is different. So, make sure that each point is different. We've selected our 4 things about Alfred from the part of the source. You can paraphrase, you can quote directly from the text. Get that one out of the way as quickly as you can. Moving on then to the second question, which is our language analysis question. Again, we are specified details. Now, quite helpfully, what the exam board does is that they print a particular section for question 2 that you've got to refer to. So they make that quite easy for you in terms of giving you those specified lines. This is about language. We always know, okay, with this particular question that it's going to be an analysis of language. In this case, it's describing the rat in the extract. And helpfully as well, the exam board give you 3 things which they say you could include. Now, really, probably what we should be saying is that that is a should, that you should include the writer's choice of words, okay, and phrases, any language features and techniques that the writer uses, and also talking about sentence form. With this, okay, so we're analysing the language, and we must refer to specific effects of the language. How long have we got available for this? Okay, it's 8 marks, so we don't want to spend any longer than 12 minutes in total, okay, to write our 3 T paragraphs: technique, evidence, analysis. There's 3 things you need to write about. Okay, what techniques are we talking about then with this? So, at the very least, we need to know our word classes, or our basic word classes. So, nouns. Every writer uses nouns, verbs. You can't have sentences without these things. So, adjectives and adverbs will be 4 kind of basic and main ones. We're talking about alliteration, emotive language, hyperbole, irony, metaphors, onomatopoeia, oxymoron, personification, rhetorical questions, simile, symbolism, sibilance. Okay, the list could go on. Okay, it's not an exhaustive list. That doesn't mean there's everything that's in that particular list may come up. There are others as well, but there's some of the main language techniques that you might expect to see within the extract. Now, with the sentence forms, okay, within this particular question, you only talk sentence forms has caused a little bit of confusion for question 2 and question 3, because sentence structure also obviously applies to the structural question for question number 2. So with this particular question, if you are going to talk about sentence forms, it's the specific effect that a sentence has on the reader. A little bit different to question 3, because with question 3, what you need to think about is how the sentences change, perhaps over the course of the whole piece. Okay, so structure is referring to the whole text. Students often find difficult, they can identify the different techniques, some of these things, but actually, how do I then explain the effect that that has on the reader? So what is best probably to think about is what is the author's desired effect on the reader? What do you think, having read this extract, what is the author trying to get the reader to think like? And how then, what methods from here have they done that to achieve that? So we want to make the reader consider something, to question something, to think, to imagine, to feel. This would shock, excite, entertain, okay, and so on. So they're kind of some sentence starters that perhaps you might use for that particular question. Okay, just turning over there and giving myself a little bit more room. Other possible sentence starters for this question. Good idea to start with this. The most prominent language feature appears to be that's a really good way of starting question 2, because it means that you've not only identified the different language features, but you've also had to think about which of those is most salient, or which is most important, or which has the largest effect on the reader. However, okay, use discourse marker. T is also used. The writer's use of T, T, and C, okay, put in some evidence, particularly highlights. Also have a think about, okay, your discourse markers that you're using. Try and avoid saying another way that the writer does this, another way that the writer does that, okay? Think fam. Think furthermore. Think additionally. Think moreover. So furthermore the writer, additionally the writer, moreover the writer. Okay, just a little bit of advice there for the style that you're using. Also, how can you write in a more sophisticated manner this keyword shows? Okay, rather than saying this shows that, okay, what better kind of words can we put in that place? So this conveys, we can infer, this suggests, this connotes, this implies, displays, represents, highlights, reveals, demonstrates, reinforces. Okay, those all much more sophisticated ways of saying shows. Okay, so learn those would be a really, really good idea.